on behalf of others, but I wouldn't presume to do so. First of all, I want to say that the Benedictine Sisters are long believers in Christian education. We do not oppose the Cullman Christian School. We do, however, oppose this location. And I'd like to address my remarks to you board members basically under two topics. One, the ordinance itself, and secondly, the traffic study and some of the issues there. First, regarding the ordinance. There are several references in the ordinance to hardship, which seems to be what the Cullman Christian School in their appeal to this board address. That they address that this would be a hardship because, and they said, you know, the members of the Planning Commission, some of them admitted afterwards that they didn't know that the school actually owned this property. They clarified that for the members of the board tonight, that they do own the property. But picking up something on what you said, Mr. Chairman, to an earlier petitioner for a variance, there cannot be a self-created hardship. That is something that this board cannot use as a basis to grant a variance. And in this case, as was pointed out by the astute member of the board, that this property was purchased without a contingency plan on whether the Planning Commission would grant their request. And while it's I'm sure difficult for the members of the Cullman Christian School Board to realize that they spent this money, or that someone on their behalf spent this money to buy this property, if buying a piece of property could get around the ordinances, then why would we even need to have these hearings? I could simply go buy a piece of property and then say, because I bought this, I want to be able to use it the way I want to use it, and otherwise it's going to create a hardship for me because I've already expended this money. That's not the way the ordinance is set up. In fact, at Article 3, Section 31.0, which is a list of definitions of, by the way, in mine written, you know, not on the internet, but on my handwritten or typewritten copy on page 7, there's a definition of hardship that says any condition not in control of the owner or applicant, such as, but not limited to, topography, lot shape or size, location of public utilities, or similar conditions deeming a hardship. I don't believe that any of those is met in this case. Under the conditional use part of the ordinance, Section 81.7, it also speaks to a variety of, as you indicated, Mr. Chairman, a variety of different reasons that the board could grant a conditional use. And you've already alluded to those. I'd just like to point out that in the first item that's listed under Section 81.7, Section E, number 1, satisfactory ingress and egress to property and proposed structures with particular reference to automotive and pedestrian safety and convenient traffic flow and control. That's a big part of, I believe, what motivated the Planning Commission to deny a request from a very worthy applicant. No city official likes to say no to an entity called the Cullman Christian School. But knowing that it was, the commission was bound by the ordinances that this city has passed, they did deny it because of those, that none of those conditions were met by this applicant. Finally, under the section of the ordinance dealing with the zoning board, your board, in section 103.0, on my copy it's page 96, it says a variance may be granted in an individual case of unnecessary hardship